insane things that happened to me when I was working at the front desk of a beauty service studio. So during my shifts, my manager usually wasn't there. And this was the case on this day when a man randomly walked in. He was wearing a construction vest. He basically said he was so-and-so, a part of so-and-so group, and he needed to take some pictures of this location for the new location they were building in another side of town. Which the company I worked for, they were constantly building new locations, so I wasn't shocked. I had also never been trained for this type of situation, and I was fairly new to the job at the time, so I didn't really know what to do. So I just assumed it was okay, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's fine. Which of course I realize now was not very smart. And he was like, can you just show me like the layout and everything and all the rooms? And I was like, yeah, okay, I'll walk you back. I'm literally by myself, and this is when all the red flags in my brain start going off. So I was like, okay, these are the rooms, you can go ahead and take the pictures of them, and I'll be out at the front desk because I didn't want to be back there in the hall alone with him. He was like, okay, yeah, I'll be quick. I also definitely should have told him to come back when my manager was in. It didn't take too long before he walked back up to the lobby. He was like, I'm just gonna take a few pictures of this room. I was like, yeah, that's fine. But I didn't expect him to like stand behind the front desk and take a picture that I was kind of in. And then he made a joke and he was like, smile. I'm like, okay. So I'm sitting at the desk and wearing a skirt, and he's like, okay, I just need a picture like under the desk kind of. And I was like, okay. And so I was trying to kind of move my legs out of the way, and he goes, nice legs, and snaps the picture, and I'm pretty sure he got my legs in it. And then he just left, and I've never been that uncomfortable in my whole entire life. There was also a time I went to go take the trash out, and there's a huge dumpster like behind the building in like an alleyway. That was always my least favorite chore because I had to do it by myself, and it was scary. So you have to walk out to this alley through the break room, which is in like the back of the studio, and the door is metal and super heavy, so you can't like leave it open. And then from there you walk to the dumpster, so basically no one in the break room or anyone in the room could see you when you like go to walk to the dumpster. And what was really unusual was there was a man sitting in his truck right in front of the door. You have to go out to go take out the trash. So even though it was unusual, I was like, I'm just gonna ignore this dude. I walked to the trash. So he's facing away from the dumpster, right? The literal second I get to the dumpster, he puts it in reverse and floors it back right to where I am and stops right next to me. So in my mind, I'm like, he's literally gonna jump out and grab me. So I throw the stuff in the dumpster, and I literally started sprinting back to the door. And then he puts it in drive, floors it, and stops right in front of the door. He knows I'm about to go in. Thankfully, I'm very fast, so I ran through the door, slammed it, and locked it. Today's lesson is learn from my stupidity, don't be dumb, and trust your gut.
Ready with me. Have a few things I need to do today, so I just want to get a little bit glammed up. I have a little bit of a confession for you guys. I have been talking to / seeing someone for the last like month now. I know it's shocking because the last time we talked about men, I was a little bit sad. Benefit Fluff Up Brow Wax on the brows. Self Power Grip to prime the face. Yeah, no, he's super nice. We talk on the phone all the time. He doesn't live in my city. I freaking broke out a little bit, so I'm using my LA Girl Pro Conceal on all my red spots today. I'm on the NuvaRing, and I like skip my periods so much, and the last time I tried to skip a period again, and then I started like having spotting, so then I just took out my NuvaRing to like let myself have a period because I'm going to see this man friend of mine and I don't want to have my period then, but now I'm breaking out like crazy. Going in with the NARS Soft Matte Cream Concealer to cover up all those spots. So yeah, you did indeed hear that right. I am going to see him. I have it right here and it hurts so freaking bad. I went like this. Oh my god. Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow on the brows. Am I nervous to go see him? Hell yeah, I'm nervous. Using the MAC Studio Fix 24-hour concealer.
Story time about the time that a teacher told me I did not deserve water. So this just so happens to also be the story time of my first panic attack. It was in grade 9. And oh my god, I just inhaled that. So the story starts in gym class, and me and my friend decided that for the run that we were doing that day, we were going to walk most of it because we just weren't feeling like running. And this run is actually like 20 minutes long, and it goes behind the school with like a bunch of houses, and then the last part is a forest. So we get to the forest part, and mind you, we are already probably the last 2 or out of the last 10 to be done the race, because a lot of people did a shortcut, but I wasn't doing the shortcut because frankly I didn't even know where the shortcut was. And so we're walking through the forest, and we come up to these 2 police officers who stop us, and they ask us, have you guys seen anything out of the ordinary? And I also think it's important to say that during this time I was watching a show. I don't remember what show it was, but in the show there were people pretending to be cops, and it like really scared me for some reason. So in my mind, I come up to these cops, and they were acting kind of weird, and I was like sketched out. We're alone in the forest with these 2 male cops. In my mind, I'm like, these cops aren't real. They're acting sketchy. They're 2 male cops talking to 2 young girls in the forest alone, and I felt unsafe. And then I was starting to think, okay, what if these are real cops and there is someone in this forest who's going around doing bad things? We need to get out of here, you know? So after we talk to the cops, we say we haven't seen anything, feeling all sketched out. She wasn't feeling as sketched out as I was, but I go, hey, let's finish this, let's just run the last bit, because there's like 5 minutes left if you run it to back to the school. But she was like, no, I'm not feeling like running it, but you can go ahead. And I was like, okay. So I start running, and on my run back, I start thinking, oh my god, I left my friend alone in the forest with, there could be a criminal in the forest, or those cops could be faking it. Just my mind is racing about all the possibilities. I'm like, I'm such a horrible friend. Why would I leave her? Like, just because she told me to. Like, oh, you can go back and whatever. But I was like, fight or flight. Like, I gotta get out of here. By the time I get back, I'm bawling. I'm breathing really heavily, thinking it's just from the run that I just did. Not thinking that I'm having a panic attack because I didn't know what that was at the time. Some of the other students come up and they're like, oh my god, what's wrong? Like, what's going on? And the teacher comes up and asks me the same thing. So I tell my teacher, there are 2 cops in the forest, my friend's still in there, I don't know what's going on, and I'm just like breathing really heavily and I can't calm down. So my teacher runs back into the forest to go find my friend. One friend pulls me aside into the hallway and says, let's go get some water. I am visibly crying, my face is red, I'm panicking, and we go take some water from the water fountain. A teacher sees us leave into the hallway to go get some water, which is just outside the gym. There's a water fountain because it's gym class. This teacher, well, she's actually like an EA, not like a regular teacher. I didn't even know her name. I didn't remember what she looked like. She comes out into the hallway. She points at me and she goes, you didn't do enough exercise to deserve water. Now, drinking water is a basic human right. So first of all, that doesn't make any sense. Second of all, I'm visibly upset. I am red-faced, bawling, shaking, obviously upset. So why she felt the need to say that to me? And third of all, it's gym class and I did just go for a 20-minute run. So there's literally no reason for her to be saying that to me at all. So I don't even remember what I said. I think I just was like accepting it because I was already upset and I just didn't want to deal with it. I'm still mad about this to this day because if I was myself back then, like how I am today, I would have got her fired. Like, that was so out of pocket, so inappropriate. It makes me so angry. Like, it keeps me up at night sometimes. My teacher and my friend come back, and everyone's fine, and I'm still feeling like the world's about to end. I'm still freaking out, can't calm down, and I have no idea what's going on. So I'm telling my dad this story on the way home, and he's like, tell me that teacher's name, I'm gonna talk to the principal. But I was like, I don't remember what she looks like, I don't remember her name, like, I was in such a haze, I don't remember anything. That night, when I'm home, I start to Google what the frick happened to me that day, and I read all of the symptoms, and I was like, this makes a lot of sense. I think I have anxiety. If you've ever had an anxiety attack, you know the weird feeling you have after, where you're like, oh my god, I was just being so dramatic, I don't know what was going on. That's what I felt, so that's why I was looking into that, and I felt a lot better realizing that it's a thing that happens to people sometimes. My whole life made sense, because when I was younger, I used to forget how to breathe when I cried, and I would pass out. And it's all making sense now. That's a whole other story I can get into. Also, I cut my hair again. If you like this style of video, let me know. I have tons more stories I can tell. I love watching Storytime, so I think it'll be fun to film some.
Check you, I'm lovely. Booming in the trending is for